Today we're going to learn how to take soybeans and easily make them into milk and yogurt in your very own kitchen. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and today we're joining my wife Tina in the kitchen where she's going to share with you a simple recipe that she uses to make soy milk at home. And then she'll share with you how she uses that to make a simple and delicious yogurt that our family loves. So let's join Tina now as she shares.
Hello, my name's Tina Arnold, and I'm going to tell you how to make something that's probably my boys' favorite food of all foods. And they expect it every Sabbath morning before we go to church, and that is soy yogurt. But to make the soy yogurt, I make soy milk. So I'm going to show you both processes. You can skip making the soy milk. I'll tell you how to do that later by just buying the West soy milk and inserting it at that point. So for now, let me just say that I have to plan ahead and go ahead and soak my soybeans. They do good to be soaked overnight, or I can just soak them through the day as long as they have about 8 hours to soak. So we just rinse these with water, put water in it. I just fill it up to about right there and set it on the counter. The next morning I can come back. I've got my soaked soybeans and I just rinse those and begin the process. There are times I get busy and I don't have time to make soy milk that I thought I was going to have time to make, and I'm running to work or something, I might be running late, and I just rinse it and put it in the refrigerator. You can come back to it whenever you have time. So these are my soaked soybeans. We have what's called a Soyabella soy maker. There's many different soy makers. This one's working good for us. I hear there are some that you don't have to soak, that you don't have to have the basket to clean. That would be nice, but this is what I've got. I just pour those in there. I rinse them and I just put them in my, this is the grinder that goes in with the soybeans. I just insert that, it grinds it. The good thing about this is I'm skipping having to do it by having to be on top of a lot of other things. This boils it, grinds it, and filters it. So it just makes it easier, but you can also do it by hand if you want to do it on your stovetop, you can do that. So I just add the soybeans. I've already put in about 1 liter of water, which this machine comes with a fill line, and I just go by that. And then I just put it in the soy milk maker, just water, soybeans, and then I just plug it in and turn it on. So we just hit milk. Okay, it's done. So all I have to do is just take it out. It's steaming. It's very, very hot. I just let that drain a little bit and then catch it in the little provided container that it came with. And then I disconnect from power so I don't get electrocuted and pour it through a nut bag. You can use multiple different kinds of nut bags. I was using a cloth that filtered it even better, more thinly than this. Probably was a little more creamy, but this is kind of like a cheesecloth you can keep reusing, so this is the quickest, it's the easiest, so that's what I'm using. I pour it through there, and that strains out some extra fiber, which is not the best. Fiber is good for you, but I like it creamy, and for the yogurt I find it makes a big difference. So I do strain out the extra fiber. You can save that and use it in other dishes. I'm just going to let that strain out. 1 cup of regular milk has about 8 grams of protein, and this has like 7 grams. So it's a good source of protein. It's got lots of different benefits. So I'm just going to set this aside right now. We've filtered it out. You can squeeze this out if it's not steaming, but I'm not going to. I'll squeeze it just a little bit with a spoon, but otherwise you can get burnt. So what I like about that bag is so easy. I just turn it inside out and wash it, and it's done. So now my milk is creamy. I'm really thrilled with this. I can either just put it in the refrigerator and just use it as is. We like it a little sweeter, so we put a little maple syrup in it to taste and a little vanilla if I feel like it. Usually, it doesn't take much, and we add it to our cereal and we really like it. But for now, it's ready for yogurt. So the next thing I have to do is just add the maple syrup. I usually add about 1/3 of a cup. You can use less. I have used 1/4 of a cup. It's more like a plain yogurt, whereas the maple syrup, if you put a little bit more, just to the point where you don't taste the soy as much, it makes it like store-bought yogurt. I think it tastes wonderful. So I'm not going to measure it this time. I'm just going to pour. But you can just taste it, make sure it's the flavoring that you want, and that's all I put in there besides these probiotic capsules. Now you can actually save yogurt from what you've made before and put in this as opposed to a capsule. But since we're starting this out, I'm going to go ahead and do a capsule. 1 capsule probiotic. This is the kind we use. It's 60 billion probiotic. I love the fact that you can reuse it from the yogurt. 2 tablespoons of your previously made yogurt in here as well. And you can save having to buy as many capsules because you're just reusing what you've already got. Of course, if you're going to do that, you probably don't want to keep it in the refrigerator for more than a week because you don't want it to go bad and then have trouble. So I just empty the capsule in here or add 2 tablespoons of yogurt that I already have previously made and just stir that in. Now what I do, before I pour this in, I sterilize a jar in the refrigerator. Well, I take a clean jar. I sterilize it. My method that I use for yogurt is to just put the jar in the oven at 200 degrees for 10 minutes. Then I just pour in my milk, maple syrup, and probiotic into my jar. And I fill it full. A lot of times I like to try to make if I put less water in the container, then it'll fit in here perfectly. It's a little bit more concentrated, maybe a little more creamy, but it doesn't matter. I could even just do a shortcut and do West soy milk. I have done that before. You can buy West soy milk. I have used that. It comes in a sterilized container. You just pour that in a sterilized jar and add your probiotic and maple syrup. And then put your lid on it and put it in a warm place for 6 to 8 hours. So I put it in a dehydrator at 115 degrees. But if you don't have a dehydrator, a way to keep it warm, you can even put it in the oven with the light on. That'll also keep it warm. So I go ahead and put this in. And I'm going to pretend I'm taking it out now. It's been 6 to 8 hours and it's going to be warm to touch. When I take that out, I do not shake it at all. I just carry it as carefully as possible and I put it in the refrigerator. When I do that, I usually let that happen in the day. So if I can, I like to just put it in overnight, in the morning put it in, or either way, it doesn't matter. But anyway, just so long I've had it in the dehydrator for 4 hours, it's worked, and then put it in the refrigerator, get it cold, and then it's thick. Oftentimes this lid will stick, it'll suction down in there because of the heat, pulling it in. The longer it sits in curdles, the more tart it's going to be. So if you like a tart yogurt, that will be what you want to do. Just let it curdle a little longer. I say curdle. Ferment a little longer in the warm temperature setting before you put it in the refrigerator. If you like a more mild yogurt, then just leave it 4 to 6 hours maybe, and then put it in the refrigerator. One thing I noticed when I used this soy milk that I had made over the West soy milk is it's so much more thick. I must show you how thick this yogurt is. It's quite amazing. So I I literally have to shake it to get it out of the jar. Usually I've already started it, so it came out this time. But I will have to just shake it to get it out sometimes because it's so thick. So, I guess that's good enough. Okay, and then I just, it's already been sweetened. I like to take a whisk and just whisk it because I like a smoothie. The boys like it kind of curled, just the way it is. But I like it creamy by whisking it, and then I add frozen blueberries. I love the frozen blueberries, but you can add any fruit that you like. But the frozen blueberries, I think it gives it a pretty flavor, and I like the little pops in my mouth with those tiny little, I use the wild blueberries from the Walmart frozen section, and then we just serve it up. I could make it ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator, and then Saturday morning we have a treat that the boys just love. So this is what it looks like. It's really got a nice texture, and I noticed that it's so much thicker when I make it myself than when I just use the shortcut with the West soy milk. Very good.
Well, there you have it. 2 simple recipes for your soy milk and your yogurt. And while it takes a little bit of planning so that you can allow the beans to soak and so forth, it's really not that much work in the kitchen. And what a scrumptious product you end up with. Now, if you need more information about how to get a soy milk maker, you can check out the description below, and I've put a couple of soy milk makers that you might want to check out. We happen to use the Soy Bella. It works well. We don't make any commission from these products. We just simply want to pass on how to do this, and hopefully you'll find success in your work in the kitchen. Now, I would remind you that even though while you make an investment up front, you're saving a fair amount of money if you're going to use soy milk regularly, because the West soy that is in the grocery store is rather costly compared to what you're producing here with just a half cup of Laura's soybeans. So check out the description for more information. Let us know your experience, or if you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's presentation, and consider subscribing. Hope you'll join us next week as together we continue exploring greener pastures.